37-year-old Money Perkins there inside his laundromat in East Flatbush when a group of men, including a relative, barge in. In this exclusive interview, NYPD Lieutenant Martin Costello tells me what happened next.
4 against 1, 4 different firearms were presented on Mr. Perkins. We know there's at least 2 different guns that were fired during the incident, possibly more.
Killing the father of 3. It happened December 1st, but authorities maintain the suspects had been planning this for some time, meeting at a deli in Far Rockaway. Luis Mercado allegedly asked his 16-year-old stepson and his friends to help carry out the crime. Right there with them, Ronnie Butler, the victim's second cousin, who initially reached out to Mercado. What were they after?
It was a very expensive chain that Mr. Perkins had, and that was obviously the object of the robbery.
Worth between $30,000 and $60,000.
Show your face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all know how the saying goes, keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer. But sometimes it's your own friends that you have to watch out for. Even worse, your own family. Sometimes we tend to look at the people we feel may envy us and keep our distance, not knowing that the people that envy you the most can be right under your nose. Jealousy is a bad trait to have and can cause anybody to want to do something to you because they want to have what you have. Mix jealousy with greed and you got a dangerous combination that could be a recipe for disaster. Y'all heard of the stories from the 80s where Alpo took his partner Mitch's life over drugs, or even the story where Mitch's own uncle kidnapped his little brother, which was his nephew, and held him for ransom and tried to get money from Mitch. This just goes to show that envy and jealousy has been around for a long time when it comes to the streets, and these days it's only getting worse. In the story today, we're going to talk about an altercation that transpired in Brooklyn, New York, where a 37-year-old father of 3 was shot and killed in what seemed to be a hit. The hit was allegedly over a chain, supposedly worth $30,000 to $60,000. Now there's 5 suspects involved, which means that 5 people will be spending a long time in prison over nothing. When you think about it, let's say the chain was actually worth $60,000. When you go pawn it for money, it'll go down in value and you end up losing and getting way less. Most pawn shops are going to try and lowball you and give you half of what it's worth, which may turn out to be $30,000 if it was actually $60,000. So if these guys were to even split the money between 5 people, each of them would get a total of just $6,000, which means that these guys, with the youngest being just 16 years old, crashed out for $6,000. Now they say money is the root of all evil, and as the years go by, it gets worse and worse. Usually when someone comes to rob you, they're not coming to do harm to you unless they absolutely have to. This is what made police come to the conclusion that this was in fact a hit, and we're going to get into everything, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm and spread awareness. Subscribe to the platform if you aren't already. Let's get into it. On December 1st, 2023 at approximately 5:50 p.m., 37-year-old Money Perkins was seen on surveillance footage cleaning the top of a washing machine in Money Pete Clean Laundromat located in the Flatbush area of Brooklyn, New York. 3 men came into the laundromat with hooded jackets and N95 masks covering their face to try to hide their identities. As they stormed into the laundromat, they drew their guns on Perkins, and the surveillance shows Perkins lunging at one of the men, trying to wrestle the weapon out of his hand. It was a short tussle because the laundromat owner was not only outnumbered, but each suspect had a firearm as well. A fourth suspect can be seen on a surveillance camera entering the laundromat and opening fire as the tussle between the suspect and the victim continued. After he shot, one of the other two suspects standing near Perkins' head proceeded to shoot Perkins directly in his head area. That's when the video will show Perkins falling to the floor as he lay in a pool of blood would appear. It didn't stop there, as three of the suspects would run out the door. One of the suspects would reach for Perkins' neck and snatch what police would later found out was a very expensive chain. In the gruesome video where you can see Perkins' head repeatedly hit the floor as he tried to take the chain off. EMS would appear on the scene and rush Perkins to Kings County Hospital. Perkins succumbed to his injuries. At first, police had no motive, but after seeing surveillance footage, they would determine that Perkins was targeted because of the chain that was snatched from his neck. But more questions would arise, such as how did the suspects know that he would be at the laundromat at the time he was there? And if they just wanted to rob him, what made them take his life in the process? Interesting enough, after proper investigation, police would learn that it was 5 people involved in the plot, and they began making their arrests. 46-year-old Ronnie Butler, 19-year-old Shalik Riddick, 48-year-old Louis Mercado, 20-year-old Deontay Stinson, and a 16-year-old Zakaria Slay, all of which who already had criminal histories in their background. According to reports, one of the suspects, Ronnie Butler, was actually related to Perkins. They were second cousins. Reports also say that it was a plot from the beginning due to a money dispute in the past between the victim and his cousin Butler. The dispute over the money is what led to a meetup in a deli in Far Rockaway. The oldest of the suspects, 48-year-old Louis Mercado, seemed to be the one that gathered the suspects by asking his 16-year-old stepson and his friends to help carry out the robbery. It's believed that he was contacted by the victim's cousin Butler first, and then afterwards he would reach out to his stepson, and the stepson reached out to his friends. The cousin knew the chain was valuable, so whatever money dispute they got into, I'm assuming he felt he would take it as collateral. Detectives say that they didn't have much to go off at first, until the 1st of January, they would trace the car back to one of the suspects. The white Honda had a distinctive racing stripe down the middle that made it very easy for police to identify and trace back to its owner. Now the story gets interesting because investigators are trying to figure out how the suspects knew that Money Perkins was going to be at the laundromat. Yes, he is the owner, but he wasn't there just hanging around the establishment all the time. According to Perkins' older sister, 40-year-old Shaniqua Perkins, he was only there for a split second to check on a few things. When asked by reporters, his sister would say, quote, "He had told me he's going to be on his way to meet us, but he got to check his business first. He never came back. They killed him, they assassinated him." So according to his sister, Perkins was supposed to be meeting them somewhere, but on his way, he decided to make a pit stop and check on his laundromat. Maybe this is why he had such an expensive chain on at the time, because people have been asking on social media, why was he at the laundromat working with such an expensive chain on? Turns out that he wasn't there to be working a shift or anything. He was simply checking on things when the 4 suspects entered the laundromat and took his life. One of the regular customers who said she always dropped her kids' laundry off there says that Perkins was a cool, humble guy and he always went the extra mile for his customers. She also added that he was always in the laundromat in the evening, washing and drying clothes. So either the suspects knew his schedule and plotted against him by using his daily routine against him, or they was just lucky and caught him near spirit of the moment. Money Perkins' sister will also tell reporters that the chain that was worth $60,000 was a chain that her little brother bought himself because he worked very hard to earn his money. Therefore, he was not just going to let anyone take his chain. She also told reporters that he liked jewelry and had many other chains just like that one. So maybe Money was known for having expensive jewelry and the suspects knew they would be able to get a lot of money for it, or so they assumed. Now Money Perkins leaves behind 3 kids and he had another one on the way, making it a total of 4 children that he has. A lot of people sit there and ponder if they would give their jewelry up if they had guns in their face or not. Some people say it's a smart idea just to give it up because you can get another chain. But other people feel that if you worked hard for it, then you're not going to give it up. But at the end of the day, you do risk losing your life over it. So y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about it. Do you think giving up the chain is a wise idea? Or do you think if you worked hard for it, you're not just going to give it up so easily? Y'all jump in the comments and let me know. Rest in peace, Money Perkins, and my condolences go out to his family. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.